This box, it has been waiting too long to be opened. Inside, there is a drill press that I bought some months ago, and now I finally have a place in my new workshop to put it. So, I'm going to assemble this marvel that costs less than half of what a new iPhone costs. But first I want to mention that this video is not sponsored. This is the metallic base, so it is the first part we need to assemble the drill press. Here I have the table. This part will fit into the clamp support. It has a huge clamp that we will see later, and it has the typical cross slots for attaching a vise. Later we will see that it also comes with special nuts to fit into these slots. Let's see what's around here. The crank to raise and lower the table. This piece, which I still didn't know what it was for, and an axis with tapered ends. This yellow-orange ring. Several knobs. A lever. And some more hardware. This is the protection screen. Later we'll see that it's designed to be difficult to remove once installed. And this here is the chuck. I have to discover how to install this drill press chuck. Here we can see the 3 jaws. This is where the short side of the tapered end shaft will fit. I'll set this aside for now. The chuck will be the last part I install. Here I have the column. It's protected with greased paper. Here's the clamp support for the drill press table. It has a scale for tilting it to one side and another for tilting it to the other. Here goes the lever to operate a worm gear that moves a pinion, driving the clamp up and down a rack. And to tilt the table, we have the typical hex head screw. This is the rack. Let me show you a detail. The back has a curvature to fit the column. And I noticed it has no screw holes, but the ends are beveled, because the rack fits against the column of the drill press. Okay, these are the levers to raise and lower the drill press chuck. Some more hardware. Here's the drill press head with its motor. Inside the box that protects the belt and the pulleys, there are 2 pulleys that are not conventional. We will see them later. And it's heavy, so I'll put it on the table. Okay, let's assemble the drill press. Here I have the small parts and hardware. I have 3 identical knobs and another one with a narrower thread. The 3 identical ones go here. This is the lever that raises and lowers the table along the rack. And this one operates the chuck. Here's the chuck with the tapered end shaft. I think they're called Morse tapers. One taper goes into the chuck, but not that side. The short side goes into the chuck, but I still need to discover the correct way to install it. Here goes the other knob. This lever changes the drill press's spinning speed. I already mentioned it doesn't have normal pulleys. There's a notch there, because the bag with its screw also includes a small key, one of those tiny pieces that often fall out of our hands and get lost. I'll be very careful. These are the special nuts that fit into the slots on the table for attaching a vise. There are notches for a snug fit. I leave a link so you can see they also work for attaching a wood drill press table. In this bag, there are 6 Allen keys. One has an unusually long short side, but there's a simple reason for that, which we'll see later. Here are the screws to attach the column to the base, and also the screw for the lever that raises and lowers the table. I now know what the yellow-orange ring is for. See the bevel here? The ring fits onto the column, with the bevel facing down. That bevel is to fit the bevel of the rack. And I have this metal piece, which I also didn't know its purpose at the time. And now finally we are going to assemble the drill press. I removed the greased paper. On the base, you can see a bevel for fitting the bottom of the rack, but there's no other way to secure it. Well, I put in the screws that hold the column and tighten them. Here we can see the bevel in more detail. The rack goes against the column. Remember that the back has a curvature to fit snugly against the column, and it seems it will fit right there. So the bottom end goes here, and the top will fit into the bevel of the famous yellow-orange ring. No, it doesn't fit like that. I have to fit the rack in first. The rack fits like this, and turning the lever makes the pinion act against the rack. I wonder how well this system works. For now, I wasn't convinced here. I need to lower this until the rack fits into the bottom. Okay, I tighten the clamp of the support. I'm going to put on the famous ring. Remember, it goes bevel down. I fit it over the rack's bevel. And I tighten it. I can't say this works super smoothly. We will see when I add the lever. Now for something very interesting that you're probably waiting for. The pulleys. Here we see why the short side of this key is longer. It needs to enter vertically, so the short side is longer for more leverage. And here, we see that we don't have the typical 3 pulleys on each side, we only have 2 pulleys. And they seem to function similarly to a variator. As the top and bottom parts of the pulleys separate or come together, their diameter changes. And so the ratio between the diameters of both pulleys also changes. And thus, they change the spin speed of the chuck. If the top and bottom parts separate, the diameter decreases. If they come together, the diameter increases. We will see this in more detail in another video. Here, these parts at the top and bottom of the box are to ensure the drill press shuts off if the cover is open, or won't start if it's open. Another curiosity, these screws don't come out even if we push them. We'll see how this works in a future video. Okay, I need space behind the column to mount the head. I hope I can manage it alone. There it is. I have to lock it with the screws on each side. Another curiosity, it seems like they drilled a hole in the cast iron, and then they inserted a threaded insert made of harder metal, I guess to prevent the threads from stripping. These threaded inserts are also sold in kits for repairing damaged threads. Let's continue. This piece has a flat part that needs to be fitted into place. And we tighten it with its screw and washers. It turns very smoothly. This is the depth stop. Very easy to use. And a feature of this drill press is that there's no play in the spindle. We can read in the catalog that this drill press has a precision of 0.03 millimeters in the spindle. Here's the small key I mentioned earlier. I carefully fit it into place so it doesn't fall. And I mount the lever for adjusting the speed. Okay, do you know what that says? Do not turn the lever if the chuck is not spinning. Well, I hope I haven't broken anything. Now I can put on the lever that raises and lowers the table. This has a screw that goes against this flat surface of the pinion shaft. Okay, this is not working very smoothly. Okay, I'll assemble the table. And we see that if I apply a little force, the clamp turns with the rack. Here, I was not sure if I have to press the yellow-orange ring further down or what, but now I know that, thanks to that, I can set the position of the table under the drill bit. Okay, now I know what this piece is for. Now, this piece, is this called a Morse taper? Well, the short side goes into the chuck, and the long side goes into the spindle. I haven't properly fitted it into the chuck yet, but let's see how it goes in. I put it there and turn it a bit so it fits correctly. And from there, I think I need to tap it in. We'll see this in another video. So, in a future video, we'll see how to install this type of chuck. We'll see what this metal wedge is for. It's related to the slot in the spindle. We will see how the depth stop works. I will need to adjust it a bit for accurate marking on the scale. I will open the belt box to check if I haven't damaged anything by moving this lever. There I am, moving it again. Can't help myself. I almost forgot to install the protection screen. I have to put a stop washer on the top part of this aluminum profile. It goes in there. This small knob locks the position of the protection screen when we have to raise or lower it. And I install the protection screen. These screws, and also the one holding the stop washer at the top of the aluminum profile, are designed to be not easy to remove. Here we see how we can tighten them by turning to the right. But we can't loosen them because they have a bevel to prevent the screwdriver from gripping when turned to the left. I thought I would have to remove it to film my videos, but I think it won't be necessary. Well, in the next video, we'll cover everything I've mentioned, install the chuck, try to readjust the belt, additionally, we'll see how well the speed variation works. And I will test the drill press. Thanks for watching the video. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to receive the notifications when I upload a new video.